Welcome to Easy English, your go-to channel for improving your English and life.
Hello and welcome back. Today, we're looking at something really compelling, this idea that you actually have the power to reshape your life. Not, sometime way off in the future, but over just 1 year, one dedicated year.
Yeah, it sounds like a huge claim, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
the material we're digging into today, it lays this out pretty clearly. Not just wishful thinking, but like a blueprint,
A blueprint, exactly.
packed with, powerful strategies, things that if you apply them consistently, like day after day for 365 days, can genuinely lead to a, transformed life.
Right. So that's what we want to do now. Really get into this blueprint, understand why 1 year, why that time frame seems to be so effective for actual lasting change. We'll break down the core ideas it presents and figure out how you can take these concepts and, start putting them into action, like right now, building towards that better future.
It's really about shifting, isn't it? Shifting from feeling like life just happens to you to deliberately grabbing the reins and shaping it yourself.
Yeah.
And this approach makes it super clear. This kind of change, it isn't about waiting for something external.
Or some quick fix.
Yeah, exactly. It starts inside with you, and then it kind of ripples outward through your daily choices consistently.
And talking about starting inside, the blueprint kicks right off, telling us that transformation begins with, the ultimate inner work, shifting your mindset.
Absolutely foundational. Has to be the starting point. Because how you think about things, about yourself, your situation, that directly shapes what you do.
Your actions.
Your actions, yeah. And those repeated actions day in, day out, that's what builds your reality over time. So if you want a different reality years from now, you've got to work on the internal programming first.
One of the first big shifts it talks about is moving from a victim mindset to a victor mindset. It really gets how easy to, almost automatic sometimes,
Oh, yeah?
to look at where you are and just point fingers.
Right.
Blame your past, your circumstances, other people.
And that's where this material makes a really powerful, maybe even slightly uncomfortable pivot. It basically says, no one is coming to save you. You are responsible for your life.
Which sounds harsh, maybe, but it's not about blame.
Not at all. It's purely about empowerment, taking back control.
Wow.
When you fully own your part in things, you stop being passive. You grab the steering wheel.
Right.
And that's where your power is, in how you respond, where you choose to put your energy, your decision to actually grow from things.
So the actionable takeaways they suggest for this, like daily reflection, asking yourself, okay, what part of this situation can I actually own?
Yeah, and consciously swapping that blame impulse for, like, what action can I take? And forgiving the past, that's huge too. It frees up energy.
Frees you up to actually focus on the future you want to build.
And this links perfectly to another core idea in the material, drawing on Carol Dweck's work, the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset.
Right. Fixed mindset being, you think your talents, your intelligence, they're just set in stone.
Exactly. You're either good at something or you're not, which naturally makes you avoid challenges, fear failure. Because failure feels like proof, you just don't have it.
Which is obviously a massive barrier if you're trying to, change your life significantly.
Totally. A growth mindset is like non-negotiable for this kind of year-long transformation. It's believing your abilities can be developed through effort, learning, dedication.
So challenges become opportunities.
Opportunities to grow, yeah. Failure isn't some final judgment. It's just feedback, information, and discomfort. That's not a stop sign. It's a sign you're actually stretching yourself, pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
which is necessary for real gains.
And the material suggests ways to cultivate that, right? Like celebrating the effort itself, not just whether you succeeded immediately.
Yeah, focusing on the process, seeing mistakes purely as lessons. And that little language trick, catching yourself saying, I can't, and adding, yet, keeps the door open. Exactly. It maintains possibility. Then, moving deeper into the mental work, the blueprint discusses daily affirmations and visualization. It really emphasizes how powerful your subconscious is.
Running the show on autopilot sometimes.
Pretty much. Based on old beliefs,
Yeah.
old fears.
Yeah.
If you don't consciously feed it new, empowering stuff, it just defaults to the old patterns.
And this isn't just like wishful thinking. The material points to the neuroscience behind it. Repeating affirmations helps build new neural pathways.
Right. And visualization activates similar brain regions as actually doing the thing. It makes that future feel more tangible, more possible.
What kind of examples did it give? Things like,
Powerful ones, like I am in control of my life and growing stronger every day. or I am fully committed to my goals. I am inherently worthy of success and happiness, things like that.
And the practical side, how to actually do it.
Pretty straightforward. Say 3 to 5 affirmations out loud each morning, maybe looking in the mirror. Spend, say, 5 minutes before sleep, vividly visualizing that future self, how you look, feel, what you're doing.
And journaling the shifts, noticing when the mindset changes things.
Yeah, tracking those moments. Because the key insight here isn't about eliminating fear or doubt entirely. That's probably not realistic.
Right.
It's about building the inner strength, the mental wiring to move forward despite them, to navigate them effectively. Your mind's the operating system. Upgrading it is step one.
Okay, so mindset first. Got it. Then the blueprint logically moves to the next piece, redesigning your habits and daily routines. Because, let's face it, our lives are basically the sum of our daily habits.
Absolutely. If you want a different life in a year, you have to deliberately install new habits. Shape your routine so they actually support your goals. And the material's realistic here. It knows trying to change everything overnight.
Yeah, recipe for disaster, overwhelm, giving up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why this idea of habit stacking it mentions is so, well, smart.
It's a great way to ease into new behaviors, isn't it?
It really is. Simple concept. Take a new habit you want, attach it immediately after an existing habit you already do automatically.
Like brushing your teeth.
Perfect example. The old habit becomes the trigger for the new one.
So examples like, after I brush my teeth, I'll meditate for 2 minutes. Or, after I pour my coffee, I'll write down 3 gratitudes.
Right after my alarm, stretch for 30 seconds. It works because that pathway for the old habit is already there, deep in your brain. You're just adding one small step onto it.
Low friction.
Minimal friction, the suggestion. List your current habits, pick just 1 or 2 new small ones, and pair them up. Consistently, every day. It builds momentum easily.
Another big focus area is really looking at your morning and night routines, called the bookends of the day.
Yeah, vital bookends. They have a massive impact on your energy, your focus, your stability. A chaotic morning or a bad night's sleep can just derail everything.
So for the morning, the key things mentioned are waking up consistently, maybe a bit early, hydrating right away.
Yep. Some movement, even just stretching or a walk, mindfulness journaling, meditating, affirmations, and crucially, planning your top 1-3 priorities for the day. Even just 30-45 minutes focus like that can set a completely different tone.
And the night routine is just as important because a good day starts the night before.
Absolutely. Key things there. A digital detox, like an hour before bed, no screens. A calming wind down, reading, journaling, and a consistent bedtime. Signals to your body it's time to rest.
Okay, but how long does this stuff actually take to stick? The material busts that 21-day myth, right?
It does. Research suggests it's closer to 66 days, on average, for a habit to become really automatic, feel natural.
66 days, 2 months, basically. And it breaks that down.
Yeah, into phases. Initiation, days 1-22, that's the hardest part. Need reminders, tracking. Then implementation, days 23-44, you're finding a rhythm. Focus is just consistency. And integration, days 45-66, that's when it starts feeling like part of you, part of your identity.
And tracking helps through that. Apps, journals.
Totally. Habit apps, simple checklists, maybe small weekly rewards, whatever keeps you motivated during that initial tougher period.
So redesigning habits isn't about being rigid, it sounds like. It's about being deliberate, aligning those small daily actions with the bigger picture.
Exactly. Small wins stacking up. They compound massively over a whole year.
Yeah.
Which leads us kind of naturally to physical health. The blueprint really positions this as a cornerstone.
Like the vehicle for the journey, the fuel.
Precisely. Your energy, your focus, your confidence, they're all tied so closely to how you care for your body. It's not optional, it's fundamental. Broken down into basically nutrition, movement, and sleep.
Right. Nutrition, not just you are what you eat, but food actually affecting brain chemistry, mood, motivation.
Directly, yeah.
Yeah.
But the focus isn't on some perfect, restrictive diet. It's about sustainable, gradual improvements.
So more whole foods, fruits, veggies, lean protein, healthy fats, staying hydrated.
Yep. Aiming for, say, 2-3 liters of water, limiting sugar and processed stuff that causes crashes, and listening to your body, eating till you're satisfied, maybe 80% full, not stuffed.
And meal prepping gets a mention as a practical helper.
Definitely. Takes the decision fatigue out of eating healthy during busy weeks.
Then there's movement, called medicine for body and brain.
It really is. Boosts mood, sharpens thinking, builds self-esteem, cuts stress. And again, the key isn't intensity, it's consistency.
So the suggestion is sustainable stuff. Daily walking, maybe 8-10K steps, some strength training a couple times a week, stretching.
Exactly. Finding things you actually enjoy makes it stick.
Yeah.
And the big tip, block out time for it. Like a meeting you can't miss. Your health deserves that slot.
And finally, sleep, called the most underrated performance enhancer.
Arguably, yes. Lack of sleep just tanks everything. Productivity, mood regulation, hitting health goals, all of it.
So it has to be a priority. Tips like a consistent schedule, wind down routine, no screens, cool, dark, quiet room.
All crucial sleep hygiene. Limiting caffeine and alcohol later in the day too. Aiming for 7-9 hours consistently. Using a tracker can help you see your patterns.
And the link is clear. Good recovery means clearer thinking, more energy.
Better capacity to handle everything else on this transformation journey. Your healthy body really is the engine.
All right, let's pivot to career and finances. Two areas that, let's be honest, can cause a lot of stress, but also impact freedom.
Hugely. The blueprint tackles these head on, framing it as intentionally checking if your job and your money habits are actually supporting the future you're trying to build.
It starts with a skills audit, like being really honest. What am I good at? What's actually in demand? What do I enjoy? Where do I want to be long term?
Yeah, that self-assessment shows you the gaps, the opportunities. Then it gives concrete ways to grow your career capital within the year. Things like online courses for in-demand skills.
Like data analysis, copywriting.
Exactly. Asking for feedback, taking on challenging projects, networking, finding a mentor.
And I like that practical goal. Do one thing each week to build that career capital. Over a year, that's significant.
It really adds up. Then it opens up the idea of side hustles, multiple income streams, pointing out that many financially secure people don't rely on just one source.
So examples like freelancing your skills, tutoring, selling digital products, maybe affiliate marketing.
Or local services. And for potentially passive income down the line.
Yeah.
Investing, building a monetized blog or channel, creating courses.
The advice being start small, right? Just an hour or two a week consistently.
Yeah. Realistic steps. A year of that can build something real. And then, crucially, personal finances. Budgeting, saving with intention, the core idea. You need financial clarity. Tell your money where to go.
Simple steps outlined like tracking your spending first, just to see where it goes. Using something like the 50-30-20 rule.
Yep. Building that emergency fund 3 to 6 months of expenses, tackling high interest debt, setting smart saving skills. Specific, measurable, all that.
Scheduling a monthly money date to review. And automating savings.
Automating is key. Takes the willpower out. Look, your career and money situation, it massively impacts stress, freedom, peace of mind. Being intentional here for a year can really open doors.
Okay, so we've covered mindset, habits, physical health, career, money. Let's shift inward now and also outward to connections, emotional wellness, relationships, and purpose.
Right, just as vital. Your inner state, how you handle stress, how you connect, all critical. Emotional wellness helps you manage thoughts, navigate life's bumps.
Journaling comes up again here as a tool for processing, reflecting, venting.
A powerful, accessible tool. Different types mentioned. Gratitude journaling, just stream of consciousness writing, or using prompts like, what am I avoiding? Therapy or coaching is also highlighted as a potentially huge accelerator over a year.
For healing old stuff, building emotional intelligence, setting boundaries.
Improving self-worth, yeah. Online, in person, lots of options now. And then mindfulness practices, meditation, breath work is daily anchors. Training the brain to respond, not just react.
Starting small with meditation, maybe 5 minutes. Using apps. Trying breath work like box breathing.
Exactly. Simple techniques with big impacts on calming your nervous system over time. Interestingly, decluttering physical and digital space is linked here too.
Because clutter outside equals clutter inside, makes focus harder.
That's the idea. Suggestions are manageable over the year. 1 room a month maybe. Digital cleanup emails, files, phone detox, delete apps, limit notifications, clearer space, clearer mind.
Okay, relationships and social circle. The material stresses how much your environment matters for growth.
Profoundly. If you're surrounded by negativity, it's like swimming upstream. So upgrading your relationships is part of the plan, which includes letting go of toxic influences.
People who drain you or undermine your goals.
Yeah. Tips are about creating distance, having honest conversations if possible, prioritizing your own peace. It can be hard, but it frees up so much energy.
And on the flip side, actively cultivating the good relationships, the supportive ones.
Absolutely crucial for happiness and resilience. Ways to deepen bonds, regular check-ins, real quality time, no phones, showing appreciation, celebrating their wins. It's about being present with the right people.
And building a support system, not doing this alone.
Yeah, definitely not. Finding your tribe, joining groups, following mentors online, finding accountability partners. Growth is just easier when you're around others who are also growing.
Which brings us to the foundation under all of this, the why. Purpose, passion, legacy.
Right. This isn't just about taking off goals. It's about aligning your life with what actually gives it meaning. Asking yourself, what makes me feel alive? What am I passionate about? What impact do I want to have?
And that why is the fuel, especially when things get tough.
It's the deep fuel, makes challenges feel meaningful. The advice is to revisit it often throughout the year. And with a clear why, you can then set those vision-aligned goals.
Using the SMART framework again, breaking big goals into quarterly milestones, monthly actions.
Exactly. Reverse engineering the year from your vision. It provides a roadmap, makes it less overwhelming. Ultimately, building a life around purpose means living aligned with your values.
Saying no to things that don't fit. Prioritizing joy, meaning designing your days around what truly matters.
That's the essence of it, living intentionally based on your deepest why.
So, wrapping up, the material anticipates some common questions, doesn't it? Like, can you really change your life in a year?
And the answer is yes, but through consistent, focused action, day by day.
What to prioritize first if it feels like too much?
Mindset and daily habits. They build the foundation and momentum.
Staying motivated for 12 months.
Break it down, celebrate small wins, keep reconnecting with your vision, your why.
What if you fail or slip up?
Expect it. It's normal. The key is bouncing back quickly. Recognize, forgive, realign.
You need a coach or a therapist?
I'm not essential, but
Okay.
they can definitely accelerate progress tools, accountability, perspective,
And tracking progress.
journals, trackers, apps,
Yeah.
and definitely monthly reflection. What's working, what's not, how am I feeling? So pulling it all together, the core message is just so empowering, isn't it? Where you are a year from now, it's largely up to you.
Yeah, it's not about luck. It's about choice and consistent action, day after day. And it's about progress, right? Not perfection.
Absolutely. Start small.
Yeah.
Dream big. But the real magic is in the consistency if you commit to applying these ideas.
It really is possible that a year from now, you could look back and feel like a fundamentally different person in the best possible way.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Picture yourself 1 year from today. You've embraced these principles. What's one specific quality or achievement that really stands out about that future you? And then ask, what's just one small thing, one tiny step you could take today to start moving towards that?